Actually, I think I just started recording too now. I thought, no. Okay, can you guys see my desktop? No, I don't want to share my desktop.
Not yet, but there's often a delay. Here it comes.
Right there. Can you see our Facebook page?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. This is, hold on. Try this. Okay, so here is our Facebook page. And so when you're on your Facebook page, you can have this write something for a post. Let's see if I can't remember how to do it from here. Because usually it'll say something on here instead of down here where it says you can add a photo. I thought it would ask if you wanted to go live.
Can you only do it from a phone? Can you even do Facebook Live from a PC?
Well, I thought I did it once because I have if you have a webcam and all that, you can.
True. Ashley Eckert was the very first one I saw, and she was from her computer, now that I asked that.
So, but that's usually where it shows up. So, I'm not sure why it's not showing up in our page, but I'll go into, because I just did one here on Saturday for a gardening Saturday event. Let's see if the old events. Go in here. I guess now that this is old, I wanted to go into this. Wow, I'm really struggling. But anyway, that's where it would show up as if you want to go live. Now that doesn't want to.
Alicia, I just opened it up on my phone and live is right there.
Yeah, it's really super easy to do from your phone. And then the nice thing too is when once you click go live, it'll have a countdown and it'll say 3, 2, 1, and then you'll be going live. You can do your recording, but when you're done doing that, you actually have the option, do you want to post yes or no? Which is kind of nice because if you screw up or something, it's not like it's completely goes live right away. But the nice thing I think with going live is that it really helps with interacting with people. We did one Facebook Live from our page where we did a real colors, and it started to get shared. I think that was one of our most viewed posts. Jody, you're asking how long can we record or go live? I don't know how long. If there's a time limit. I've actually seen or watched a live or Facebook Live that was, I think, about an hour long. 4 hours. Okay, that's good to know. And I think it depends on what is the purpose of your post. If you just want to show a little clip of what's going on, I think just a couple minutes is more than enough. Because if you get too long, then sometimes people don't listen to the whole thing. But this could be also, maybe it could be an opportunity to actually show how to do some sort of a demonstration or how to do something, and then where people would want to maybe watch the whole thing. But yeah, I agree with you, Becky. I couldn't watch for 4 hours either. So does anyone else have any experience with Facebook Live? Or they used it either professionally or personally? And what was your experience?
I know one of our agents in Greggs County did a little video of the new office building when it was an open house, but I haven't tried it myself.
So, Alicia, this is Jody. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Jody.
Oh, okay, great. So I'm on Facebook on my phone, and I've seen some of these. So would you use it as an opportunity to narrate something? So you said you used it with your colors program, and do you kind of narrate that? Like, here we are at the Stutzman County Extension Office. We have participants going through the colors program, or do you just not say anything? I suppose you could do both, but.
Yep, I think you could do both. When we did it, Christina in our office was the one that actually recorded it, and Carmen was the one that was doing the real colors. And Christina just stood up and started recording Carmen when she was talking through the different colors. So it was probably only a couple minutes by the time she talked about the 4 different colors. And so that was just kind of a quick little snip. And then on there, you can write a post on there saying, well, this is, here's what's going on. We had a great time doing real colors as a staff. And so that kind of gave people the background. But I've also seen them too, like you were saying, Jody, where some people will say, hey, I think radio stations, I think, are really good at that, where they'll say, hey, we're at such and such event, and this is what we're doing. And I think that is a good way to show people what's actually going on. And I think the nice thing too with Facebook Live is it shows up. People get notified when you go live. So I think that's probably one of the reasons why it helps draw in more people, because when they see that notification, they're more likely to click on it versus scrolling through somebody else's page with just a regular post.
So does that video, does that stay on your Facebook feed, or what happens to it? If it's live, if you have to watch it later, it's not live anymore. So is it real time, and then what happens?
Yep, it's basically like it's real time, and then after that it becomes basically a recorded post. So it's on your timeline like any other video or post. Does anyone else have any other experiences?
As far as sharing a couple things we've learned in AgCom the hard way, that's what we do, is we be the guinea pigs and screw it up so we can teach the rest of you. And Sonia, maybe you can help me since Bob's not on, but the first time we didn't have very good audio. So I would recommend buying a fairly inexpensive little microphone if you're recording somebody else. I saw the one of Carmen in Real Colors, and that audio was great. So I don't know what we did wrong, but we had trouble with audio the first time. I do remember that. And Ashley Eckerts, I remember, she held up a publication or something, and she was using the webcam on her computer, and the writing was backwards. And with your phone, you even have to think about which way you're facing and which way things are going. I think Bob posts, well, there, Sonia just put it up, some of the things we learned. So take it from us.
Yeah, and I would like to say, this is Sonia, this sort of impromptu video. I mean, a lot of times we want to look all fresh and polished and professional and things like that, but I think people are getting used to the idea that, it's okay if there's a glitch here and there, or, it doesn't have to be perfect. Sometimes people really, they like that the person doing the live video is human, and it can make people feel more comfortable too, so. Try not to be too perfect, but and I think they're always working on things too, trying to improve them. So.
Yep, I think that's a really good point, Sonia, because That's one thing that I've always kind of struggled with is we want to be professional and all that kind of stuff, but people also want to know that we're real humans too, and this kind of is that human connection element where people can see that, yep, these are, kind of making those connections.
I know Ryan on the innovation team said he's planning on doing some Facebook Lives from the field. He's going to go out there and show, here's this whatever. Now the example's probably drought. Here's these poor little corn plants that are turning brown and shriveling up and blah, 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 and really short little updates from the field. And that sounds like a perfect way to use it to me.
Yeah, and actually the NDSU Extension Soil Health page, they've got quite a few Facebook Live posts as well, and some of them are from the field. So that might be a page to go check out. And some of them were even as quick as they have them the trailer loaded up, explaining what they're doing with the equipment that they have on there. And so sometimes they can be, I think, pretty effective if they're even short, just to explain what they're up to and what they're doing. So, does anybody else have any other experiences?
Hi, this is Sonia. We worked with Julie Garden Robinson around the holiday time when she was doing some food demos.
Oh, that would be a great idea too. Because I think even if you had some sort of a short demonstration or craft idea or something, I think that would be a pretty effective way to do that too.
Lindsay in our office here did a whole science day thing, and so there was a lot of the different science experiments that she did. Like the last one they did was actually, and Bob was here helping her with it, and I kind of missed that day, but they even shot the water out of the Diet Coke bottle or whatever, to the Diet Coke out of there. So I think it was pretty successful, but I wasn't involved, so it was kind of cool.
And I think the third one AgCom helped with was Carrie Johnson and financial questions. So we had a few plants that were asking questions. And ironically, on all three of those, I think we've had more watchers from Minnesota than from North Dakota, Minnesota Extension.
Yeah, so I think there's a lot of good applications, I think, with Facebook Live. And I think it's good too to try to keep in mind of having some posts in there like we normally would have maybe some Facebook Live, but try to keep the content in a different variety of what we have on our Facebook pages too. Does anyone that had kind of a notice of what they think have been some of their most successful Facebook posts and why? Or Jody, do you have a comment?
Sorry, yeah, I'm just scrolling through the extension page, and I saw the video that Bob did with the void science experiment. So if I would do that, do you have to be the administrator for the particular page, or can you tag another page? Or like if I do something, I'm not the administrator for the Center for Community Vitality. So how could I do that? Any suggestions? Or maybe I need to be allowed to be an administrator for that?
That's a good question. I think you would have to have the permission level of adding posts. As far as go Facebook Live as the Community Vitality page, I think you'd have to be administrator.
Okay.
Or at least otherwise it would show up as Jody's posting and not the Community Vitality page is posting.
Right. Yep, that makes sense. Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I thought of one other example too that the ambassadors did this winter or last fall when they had selections. They did and Alicia, you'll have to help me with what this is called, but it's just like a mannequin thing. So they all were standing still, and then someone did a live video around to show different things that they were doing, which was kind of cute.
Yeah, I can't remember what that was called, but apparently that was a really big thing that was going on where they stand like a mannequin and they did their own version of it. And yeah, and we found out with ambassadors, the more people we can get tagged in the picture, those are the ones that are very successful because then it gets put on their Facebook page and all of their friends see it. So we've actually had some of our posts reach 1,000 people just from there was say 20, 30 people in a picture tagged everybody. The amount of outreach you get from something like that is pretty crazy.
Another thing that really has Holly Halverson in our office has found has really been good, useful, and gotten a ton of posts is we did something that we posted with the Tiger Lily event. And I think because they have a connection to that, and so a lot of people see it, might have been part of that. But then the other thing she did was did something, a throwback Thursday with a picture from several years ago at EYC, and that got a ton of not old, but alumni to.
Yeah, the really, really old ones, right, Sue?
Especially some of those people. No. But it just got a lot of people really excited because it reminded them, and so then that got a ton of views too.
Yeah, and as far as like our Stutzman County page, the posts that do the best are the ones that involve 4-Hers where people are getting tagged, and there's that connection where people want to see it. So I think it just all comes back down to that whole human connection factor and how do you get people to feel like they're connected to your content. So anyone else have any other experiences they want to share?
I'm just curious, these are great examples for true education. How might you use it for education? I mean, the ambassadors, that sounds really cool, and Tiger Lily and everything, but if we really focus on our extension educational efforts, do you think it would work very well, or is it just kind of a one-shot wonder that, oh, that was nice, or what? Or is our goal more marketing than education? Is it to get them to more in-depth education? What do you guys think?
I don't know. I think that's a really good question. I think Facebook can be a good way to create awareness. And so I don't know if that's something you can really measure true education. But I think it's definitely a very powerful marketing and awareness tool. One of the other posts it seemed to almost go viral a couple of years ago was the rhubarb post about not eating rhubarb that has gone through a frost because of the potential of the toxins from the leaves going down to the stem. So I think some of that was probably the closest to a more educational versus just marketing. I don't know, what does everybody else think?
I guess I was just trying to think of some application too, processing this. Marie and I will be doing a facilitation workshop this fall. And I thought even when we demonstrate various techniques, I thought it might be something kind of interesting to do Facebook Live for that, just to demonstrate clips of different processes we'll be demonstrating. And then if people are willing to participate, show them doing, like, acting some of that out.
I think that would be great. And I think if you can, I think the one thing is we got to remember to keep things in or short clips or segmented, and then that's when people really pick up on that information. That'd be a great idea.
I don't want to be the one to throw cold water on everybody, but I just thought of this. What if somebody who's at your training doesn't really want to be broadcast to the world through Facebook Live?
Well, I think it's probably courtesy to ask them beforehand, because I think,
There you go.
you know,
I don't think we need written permission like a media release, but
no.
yet you're right. I think it's professional courtesy to ask and say, hey, is it okay if I do this? I hadn't even thought of that till you just said that.
Yeah, and I think that's true if we're recording for anything, just so people have a heads up.
Hey, this is Sonia. When we had talked about, is this educational or is it relationship building? Bob always talks about that, kind of the ladder of engagement. I wish I had the visual here, but, it can start off with something as simple as somebody sees your Facebook post, but then you gradually increase that engagement to where you have a full partnership with somebody. So that's kind of at the other end of that ladder. Does that totally sound like something Bob would say, right? But, think about your own Facebook use, or maybe this is just me, but sometimes I'll see something out there, like a friend likes something, and then I'll be like, oh, ABC Nursery, I've never heard of that before. Maybe I should head out there and check out those beautiful geraniums. Sometimes you can learn about just the programming itself or the company itself just by being exposed to that, and then maybe you really start liking their stuff, and you never would have known about it had you not seen it through Facebook. And again, like Alicia said too, those live videos, they get served up much more prominently than other types of content. Like somebody said, Alicia is now live, will be up there and at the top of your news feed. And I've even noticed too, after a stream ends, it'll say Alicia was live. I don't know how long that notification stays up, but they definitely give prominence to the live videos in your Facebook news feed.
Thank you. Anybody else? No?
Well, okay, I sort of have a question then.
Okay.
This is Sue.
Good.
I just thinking about kind of what Sonia just said, and then when we have, and Becky had kind of, made reference to having things be more educational, and I agree with that too. But when we have some of these fluff kind of like things on our Facebook page that get a lot of likes and stuff, is that good for our page then? Because then, like Becky said, or Sonia said, it's going to help us, attract more people, or how, I'm not exactly sure how that works.
That's a good question.
I heard my name when I was typing in a comment, but I didn't hear it. Sue, could you repeat that again?
Well, I was just thinking about what you had said, and then what Becky was talking about too, about how, we need to like maybe be focusing on some more educational things. And I agree with that, but I was wondering about how, like when we do have these kind of fluffier kind of posts and things that get a lot of attention and a lot of people are looking at them and there's a lot of likes and shares and kind of thing, does that in the long run kind of help like draw attention back to our page more because people are looking at it? And so then when there are, the other kinds of educational things on there, does that help? Or that's kind of what I was just wondering.
In my opinion, I think it does, even if it's the little things. It's, slowly gaining somebody's trust. And so when they want to come back for more or come back for something more in depth or be, redirected to your webpage where you have more information or a publication, I just think it's like a comfortableness. And that's my own opinion. I don't think anything's fluff. I know you said fluff, but that's the stuff that can kind of get a lot of likes. But that can, build up into something for relationship building and engagement, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I didn't mean to make it sound like everything has to be hardcore education, because you have to get people's attention first. And saying, oh, we're going to educate you may not be the way to do that. So sometimes it is just developing that awareness, but sometimes we can do both. And work it in a fun way.
I think it also can be an impact just by the number of likes or the number of views. So I mean that's a measurable impact if you were looking for something more not numeric or measurable.
That's what we like hearing a district director say. We can count it as impact, right?
Yeah. Well, if you're
Yeah.
reaching a bunch of people, it's got to be doing something, if nothing else, for creating
Absolutely.
awareness.
Yeah.
Right.
think
I mean,
when-
is it a level 2.0 or 3.0? No, but it's just a piece of it. So
yeah.
you're sharing information.
By far the most prolific, still, it wasn't alive, but the biggest Facebook post on the NDSU Extension Service Facebook for eons has been a photo and then just a little blurb about Tom Kalb's get your variety testing seeds from us and let us know how yours grow. And the photo was so good, I honestly thought we had bought it. I thought it was a stock photo, but no, it was somebody in Lisbon or I forget where, Enderlin, I don't know. The husband had taken a picture of mom and little girl planting their seeds. It was just a perfect photo. Faces instead of backsides, planting the seeds for this project. And it also marketed this project, and he about ran out of seeds, I heard. So, you know, even if it's not live, which I know it's what we're talking about, but that graphic, whatever it is, to get people's attention is so important. I don't know about you guys, but I skim through my Facebook news feed so fast that if something doesn't really grab my attention, it's gone.
Yeah, that's a really good point too. And that's why I think trying to keep things short or attention grabbers or even just different kinds of content to keep people interested is always a good thing. But I really think creating awareness is a big thing for extension because it seems like we're the best kept secret that we shouldn't be. So if we can use Facebook, if nothing else, to create a lot of awareness so people know who we are and what we do, I think that would be pretty powerful in itself. So I guess with that, it's 3:30. So does anybody else have any other comments? Anything else? If not, I think
I hope this motivated some of you to try it now. I'll admit I haven't tried it, but I'm not an educator, so.
No, I've always been a little nervous to use it, but it's not difficult. Kim, did you have another comment?
Oh, I know. I just wanted to. Well, I guess I did. Yes, I wanted to thank you.
Oh, well, thanks. All right. Well, thank you, everybody, and thanks for taking your time out of your day to join us. Guess with that, I think we're going to conclude unless anybody else has any other last questions.
This was great sharing. I honestly didn't know what to expect here, so thanks so much, Alicia.
Yeah, thank you.